It's good, y'all. Welcome back to Niner Wire. I'm your host, Sam, and today we're going to break down some NFL news that's gone down in the past few weeks. To this, I have two people with me. We got Jake here, got Julian here. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Doing good? All right, perfect. Let me just get my lighting set up. All right, that's a lot better. Yeah, so what we're going to be doing today, there's some NFL news that's been going down for the past few weeks. I haven't really discussed that much NFL news on the channel, but we're going to be breaking it down, asking questions about it, seeing if this is going to impact, how is this going to impact the league. We do a similar segment on Jake's podcast called Fantasy Guru, called League Buzz. So that's something you can also check out if you want to make sure, if you want a more league news breakdown. We haven't done one in a while, so we're just going to do one here on my channel today. Before we get into it, make sure to follow me on at Twitter at Stone Cold Kittle. Make sure to share the stream on there. I post a lot of stuff, do a lot of things on there, so make sure to check that out. As I mentioned before, make sure to check out Jake's podcast, The Fantasy Guru. Also, his Twitter is at Fantasy Guru Heart. He's posting a lot of stuff there, fantasy related, NFL related. So yeah, and if you have any questions or comments or anything, make sure to leave them in the live chat. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So we're discussing a few topics today. I believe I have 7 topics that we wanted to discuss. So let's just start off with the first one. Let's just get the elephant out of the room. Jamal Adams. This has been the story that's been lighting up the NFL for a few days now, I should say. And he obviously wants out of New York. There's 8 teams that he wants to go to, and I just want to know which team do you guys think he's going to go to? Just pretty much.
I mean, on that list, I don't necessarily think it's going to be a team on that list because literally that was just his agent speaking through him, naming like the 8 best teams in the NFL. So
I mean,
I think that
Houston
means
there.
Absolutely nothing. Houston is because he's from Texas. It's not
true. All right. I mean,
that's not him being like, I'm only going to those teams. It's like I would be ecstatic if I got traded to one of those teams.
Yeah, I get that.
But
what
like,
do you think, Jim? All right, go ahead, Jake. If you're
well, I'm a 49er fan, and there's a lot of buzz about him going to the Niners. It was one of his teams. Look, it's hard. They interviewed this ex-NFL guy, been around the league. He was like, when an opportunity to get a star all-pro player comes, you just can't say no. But we do have Tart, right? But I think that he's on his last year, right? And so I think trading for him is a possibility for the 49ers. So that's one team I might see them trading for, but at the same time, he's kind of I don't see them trading for Jamal Adams. I don't think that's what our front office is going to do. And so I think that there are a lot of teams you could trade for. I don't know if I agree with Jake that I don't really think it's up to him really where he's gonna go, if it's gonna be on one of those 8 lists. I think the Jets are gonna be like, I'm just gonna trade him to where the best offer can come from. And so I think there's a lot of factors going into trading for Jamal Adams. First of all, they already said they want a first-round pick. He's worth a first-round pick.
And more than that, I think.
They said at least a first-round pick. And so you're probably going to have to give him more, right? At least a player.
Yeah.
You got to have the cap space. He didn't say he wanted a long-term deal now, right? He said, if you get traded me to a good team, I will wait. But he's going to need a lot of money because he's that good. He might be the best strong safety in NFL, right? Number 3, yes, he brings – I don't want to say he brings a lot of baggage, but he's got an attitude. Like, there's no doubt about that. So your locker room, if you already have a great locker room and you're already a good team that has, like, meshed together and a good defense, I'm not bringing in Jamal Adams. I just don't think I'm going to do that. And so I think there are a lot of factors that go into that, and I think those are some of the factors that go into trading for a guy like Jamal Adams.
I mean, your point about baggage, I mean – it's not like Antonio Brown baggage. It's just a little bit. I know, like, everyone on the Jets was saying, like, oh, this dude's a bona fide leader. He just has a bit of an attitude. Obviously, like, he wants out, which you always, like, that's always an attitude you don't really want from a player. But both of you were saying that you don't think he's going to go one of the 8 teams. Is there a team that you think fits him best?
Well, wait, before you go to that, I think you just said something that rubs me the wrong way a little bit. It's not Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown before, like when he was on the Steelers, was fine. Like No one knew about any of this stuff, and he was a much better player than Jamal Adams was.
Would you consider him a leader on that team?
Antonio Brown?
Yeah, I don't think when I was watching the Steelers, I never really saw him in that leadership role.
I mean,
that's
he was
the thing. Jamal Adams,
but you're talking about two different, very situations. You're talking about a good team with a lot of leaders who's in the playoffs versus the Jets, who have been shitty for a decade. Like,
I mean, but like Jamal Adams is the standout leader on that team, or Antonio Brown was arguably the best player in the league at the time. Like in his prime, you could say he was the best player in the league. I wouldn't say that, but other people would. And the fact that he wasn't like the standout leader on that team, or not, it doesn't standout leader is probably the wrong word, but just like a leader on that team, a known leader on that team. I mean, that just shows.
Why do you want that?
Why do you want a leader on the team?
No, you don't want to. Okay, what you don't want to do is you don't want to trade for some guy who's going to be super outspoken on a team that's already winning. That's why people are saying like Cowboys and stuff, because they've got the worst chemistry in the league and have done nothing with an insane roster.
No, but I think that the Cowboys, they're gonna have to. I think Dak will get paid. I do think they're gonna pay Dak, and so that's gonna be tough. How do you pay Adams, Cooper, Dak, and Elliott? I just don't see that happening for the Cowboys. I think there are two main things that go into trading for Adams. First, the price of the trade, right? And the subsequent contract extension to keep him around. Like a good example of this would probably be when the Chicago Bears traded for Mac in 2018. They gave up 2 first rounders, right? And then signed him.
First rounders, I think. Did they give up another pick?
I'm not sure. Maybe 2 first rounders.
It was 2 firsts, 2 thirds, and then like a 5th, but then they also got a 2nd in return.
Right. Okay. So Adams is not the player that Mac is, obviously, but he's up there. He's an elite player. So you're gonna have to give up a lot. I
disagree with that.
I don't think they're gonna give up a lot. Like it's known that here. Or you can
wait. You don't think Adams is an elite player?
No, I just don't think that it's close to the situation. I think Mac is at a more valuable position.
No, what I'm saying,
he's a better overall player, and then also he wasn't asking for a trade. Like
what I'm saying is that the thing with Mac is that you had to give up a lot and pay him a lot of money. That's what I'm saying. Those are the two main things. I'm not saying the trade is super similar. I'm saying that the two main things they had to do for Mac to get Mac was give a lot and spend a lot. And they're going to have to do that if a team
the contract's going to be different, though, because contracts for safeties and DNs, like Jamal Adams will probably get, 15, 16 a year?
I think DNs can get paid. That's
get like 20s.
Let me add on to that.
I would say that Jamal Adams could get 17 a year. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 17 a year after getting traded, considering the effect that he has on teams. Adams, he's indicated that he's willing to wait on a contract extension. If he ends up in a preferred location, what does that mean? A win now place, right? A place that's good. Like the Cowboys, the 49ers, the Chiefs, the Ravens. But if he gets shipped off to some terrible team like New York Giants or some other trash team, he's going to want that extension. He's not going to wait around and win 2 games, win 5 games, then get his extension. He's going to get an extension. So the key is that if he goes to a preferred location.
To the Niners, you think he's going to wait?
Yes, I think he would wait 2 years.
Straight.
No.
He said he would. If he gets traded to a preferred location, he said he would wait, and I quote, 2 years to get a contract extension if he goes to the preferred location. But if
he's just going into unrestricted free agency.
Wait. What I'm saying is he will not wait if he does not go to a Super Bowl contender. He won't wait. So if you ship him off to a team like the Niners,
that's something that he just says to make himself seem like a more likable guy.
You think he's just lying about that? You think he's going to get traded to the Niners and he's going to be like, give me a contract extension? I don't.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no way that happens. Are you kidding?
Okay, hang on. Wait, I just want to interrupt you guys. I want to bring up Anthony. You said a point about how the Khalil Mack and Jamal Adams situations are similar. I'm with Jake. They're not similar that much. And Anthony said an edge rusher and safety are 2 very different positions. And obviously an edge rusher in this situation, they're going to get more Because an edge rusher, a safety is a
No.
value. It's a luxury player.
I'm not comparing. I'm not saying Khalil Mack is that Jamal Adams is the same as Khalil Mack. What I'm saying, what did the Bears do when they got Khalil Mack? They gave up picks and they had to pay him. It's picks and paying him, right? The same thing for Adams. They're going to want picks and you're going to have to pay him. They're not going to pay.
It's more similar to the Antonio Brown deal.
I'm not saying they're going to have to dish out 2 firsts and a bunch of change. What I'm saying is that you're going to have to give up a good amount of picks of maybe a first, a second, and a player, a first, a third, and a player. And then on top of that, you're going to have to pay him a lot of money later. But at the same time, he's on his rookie deal. If he gets traded to a team that's a win now mode, he has a 5th-year option because he was a first-round pick. They can pick up that 5th-year option.
It's already been picked up. He's on a rookie
contract.
The 5th-year option already got picked up, by the way. Just want to let you know that.
Okay. You know what I'm saying, though. It's not like he's a 5th rounder, like you're paying after pay Kittle and it's up in the air, right? Who's the 3rd pick? If you give him to a place that he likes, that's what I think the key is. I think the key is if you're a team and he likes you and you're in a win-now mode, you're in a much better position to have Jamal Adams because he will wait on a contract on a rookie year. And that defense, any defense will make it so much better. You can name the best defense in the league, and it will make that defense better. So I think that if you get traded to a good team,
I don't think anyone has to give up a first-round pick for him. I think
I would not be surprised. I'm with you.
Yes,
I think
we'll see where the trade goes, but I don't think it's going to end up being.
I think it
first
will.
round.
I would not be surprised.
I think it's
if a team like
or a good player.
I would not be surprised if this was a player-for-player deal or something. Like I would not be surprised if, like, let's just say the Niners, for example. I would not be surprised if the Jets just wanted Tart and D Ford or someone like that and no picks involved.
I think a better comparison is more the DeAndre Hopkins kind of trade where it could be
I think
second. And then the Texans view David Johnson as an impact player. Just because, David Johnson or DeAndre Hopkins, was disgruntled, just not as in the media as Jamal Adams was. So I think that they don't have as much leverage as you think they do. Like the Raiders had so much leverage to trade Mack because there was nothing like big about Mack. They wanted to get an extension done, except Gruden did not. He's not going to pay a defensive player. But I think that he doesn't have any leverage.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't think.
Okay, well, if I asked to ask you, what team do you think would be best?
Best or likely? Like, wait, what do you
like? If you could choose a team for Adams to trade to, what?
Yeah,
team
that's what I asked a while ago.
Let me think about this. Can I pull up the salary cap table here? You guys talk about.
I want to pull up a team that I think is going to be a really good fit, and I think this kind of segues into the next question I was going to ask, but we can still talk about this. The Seattle Seahawks. I think they can easily pull off a deal to get Jamal Adams. I think a first and Tyler Lockett would do the trick, right? Just right there. I know Jake's been saying like they don't trust Tyler Lockett that much. I'm with you on that. I think they're strong safety.
Where are you getting that information from? What
about Tyler Lockett?
That I don't know.
Wait, what? A first and Tyler Lockett that would make no sense. They would have no receivers.
Okay, that kind of gives me to my next point about Antonio Brown, who was linked with the Seahawks. What if they sign him and then make the trade for Tyler Lockett in a first? That's the other part that has to go with it. Do you think that would be a good idea for them?
No.
No, not at all.
No. I think that you're getting ahead of yourself just because you're thinking about the team that would make them the best on paper. And it's just not they would have no chemistry. You're bringing in two very polarizing players into a team that already has decent chemistry. Russ is he's a top 3 quarterback in the league, probably, not fantasy wise, but actually
he's a top 3 quarterback.
Probably top 2. He's behind Mahomes. He's probably next.
I think it goes Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and then Lamar Jackson.
Just like that.
It might be someone else before Lamar. We have to see this here, but
who would be behind the reigning MVP?
I just don't know how gimmicky that. The Ravens' offense is fairly gimmicky, so I don't know how well it's gonna.
What do you mean
last.
by gimmicky?
Like if a defense they do one thing really well. That's basically what it is. Like,
Reaction.
and they figured it out, and then they just ran it over and over and over again. So if someone it's like the no huddle offense. That's what I keep comparing it to. Oregon was really, really good, and then Mariota kind of like left, and Chip Kelly.
What the hell are you talking about?
What am I talking about?
I think you're going to figure out how to stop Lamar Jackson, one of the best pocket passers by Pro Football Focus in the league, the most athletic runner in the NFL.
You can't say that Pro Football Focus doesn't matter 1 second and then quote it another second.
No, I'm the one that says PFF doesn't matter.
You think you're comparing that to Chip Kelly in Oregon? No, they're not going to figure out Lamar Jackson like that. Like they figured out the no huddle offense. He's going to be stopped. He's not going to be as good as he was last year, but they're not going to figure out him like they figured out a no huddle.
I'm not saying that it was going to happen. I'm just saying that we're getting ahead of ourselves by making him a top 3 quarterback. That's like saying that after Matt Ryan's MVP season that he was a top 3 quarterback.
He was.
He wasn't.
And
he played like a
MVP,
top 3 quarterback that year, but he wasn't.
that year.
Clear that it wasn't a top 3 quarterback going forward.
Who's a better quarterback than
who's the better quarterback right now? Like that's how when you're ranking quarterbacks, that's how I like to do. I like to look at who's the best quarterback. Who would you rather have right now? If you could play one game, who would you have? Like, and then just rank them like that. That's exactly what that's what I mean by that. That's I think what Steve's trying to do.
I mean, I'm a little weird where I would rather have Rodgers and Breeze over him, but I don't think they're better quarterback. Like in their system, Lamar is the better quarterback. But if I was just Julian.
But if you're creating a team to win one game and you go, you can have any quarterback, who do you choose? Rodgers, Breeze, or Lamar?
Probably Breeze.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, Breeze does have the winning experience. I don't blame you for choosing that, but
it's not that like crazy. I don't understand what the thing is.
It is crazy.
Okay.
Okay. Were you looking up a team that Jamal Adams might?
Sorry, I got.
Yeah, no, we all got carried. It's okay. But was there a team that you had in mind?
I mean, the problem is I don't know. Does he have? Can he approve or veto a trade?
No, he can't. He's a rookie. I mean, he can hold out if he wants, but that's like. Yeah.
But if he gets his contract, it won't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think – I also just want to point this out while you're searching it. The only 2 teams out of the 8 that I think have absolutely no chance of getting Jamal Adams, Houston and Kansas City. Those are the only 2 teams I don't think are even going to bother making an offer for Jamal Adams.
Yeah.
Just like it that way. Because Houston can't –
I mean, how would Baltimore do it?
They could give up a first and maybe – they have cap, right? Or am I thinking of a different team?
I mean, I didn't think they had that much.
I'm trying to think. I think they could probably
have $7 million.
So, okay, never mind. I don't think no. But the only reason Houston and Kansas City is because Houston has like absolutely no picks to give up, and I don't know what players they would throw in. And then Kansas City, I don't know why they would want to break up their safety duo. I believe
I got a team that I think would fit them. I think it's the Seattle Seahawks. They lost Earl Thomas, right? And you have Pete Carroll.
They filled that hole with Quandre Diggs, though.
They what?
Quandre Diggs is their we're talking about the strong. He's going to play the strong safety, not free safety. And they filled the free safety with Quandre Diggs. That was what Earl Thomas used to play. So it's all about.
It's still a safety, though.
Yeah, it is still a safety, though.
I mean, I haven't looked into the buzz very much, but just looking at like needs and teams that are actively looking to get like significantly better, I think that the Lions are a possibility because they did trade Slay and Diggs, and who was their other safety?
Oh God, I don't know,
but whatever. Or maybe like the Colts. I don't know if
Colts I don't think have enough cap.
I mean, they have $23 million, but
they do so. Huh. All right. Well then, but is that before? But then Buckner's also getting like 21 of those.
Stop talking about the cap. everyone's cap is going to be terrible because of COVID. And at the same time, he's on a rookie deal. Do you know what that means? He's getting paid under $5 million for the next 2 years if he does not hold out and need a new contract. So cap space will be an
not
issue.
what
I
that
think that's in
means.
2 years, though.
That's not what that
And
means.
it's going to change.
5th-year option, you think he's getting paid under $5 million? You're out of your mind.
No. Wait, what did I say?
You said next 2 years he's getting paid under $5 million.
Oh, I said his rookie year.
It's his rookie deal.
Oh, no, not when he picks up. No, not when they tag him. He'll get paid. What's the average of the top 5 safeties? Probably
No,
not
I
that
just meant,
much.
I mean, they're not going to tag him, but.
Look, I think that. Wait, so what team did you say was the best fit for?
Jake said Lions.
I
and
said
Colts.
Lions or Colts.
I'm gonna stick to the Seahawks because Pete Carroll, he's a secondary coach, right? He had the Legion of Boom. He understood what defense could do, and it brought him to a championship. Well, along with Russell Wilson,
But
obviously.
the problem with the Seahawks,
And I think
you have to think their mindset. They don't trade for. I mean, they got what? They got Clowney really cheap, right?
No, wait, what are you talking about? They have a history. Remember, John Schneider dealt first rounders for. He dealt it for Jimmy Graham and Percy Harvin. And they've been lacking it safely since Earl Thomas and Jamal Adams.
But Jimmy Graham was the best tight end in the league at the time, behind like maybe Gronk.
I mean, yeah, but his knees went out.
True. I mean, I think
Seattle.
They're
going to trade away. If they do, I think they're going to trade away Lockett because he needs a contract extension. They already have DK Metcalf, and so I think that especially. They
would need to sign division, someone.
They have to face George Kittle twice and DeAndre Hopkins twice. So that's.
I think what I said about Tyler Lockett was more a statement on him not breaking out as much as he did last year, not necessarily that they want to move on from him. I thought that just because they were looking into all these alpha wide receivers, they don't want him to be the alpha. Not that they don't want him in the slot. So I don't know how I feel about them trading Lockett as their add-in piece.
Yeah.
Wait, so you don't think that Seattle is a good fit for Jamal Adams?
I'm not saying that they're a bad fit. I personally don't see it.
I mean, I think I was talking to some Seahawks fans about this. Like, would the Seahawks do Tyler Lockett in the first for Jamal Adams and then just ignore that position, the wide receiver position? And they were all saying like, hell no, we need depth. So that's why I think if they want to bring in a guy like Antonio Brown, I think that's an opportunity to do it if they want to get Jamal Adams. I mean, your locker room might be a bit messed up, but we'll have to see. I mean, I think Antonio Brown and Russell Wilson have been working with each other. They're on good terms, I think, unlike what was happening with him and Big Ben in Pittsburgh. I think the management.
You weren't paying attention. He's on good terms with everyone until he goes insane. Like he and Derek Carr were best friends.
But he went off of the management, not Derek Carr.
No, he went after Derek Carr. He just started going after everyone. He's not a stable person, and until he shows people that he is, he's not going to get picked up, in my opinion.
All right. That kind of answers my question about Antonio Brown. Is he on a team this season? You said no. Julian, what do you think?
If I'm a front office, if I'm a GM, I don't want Jamal Adams. I mean, not Jamal Adams, Antonio Brown until I really, really need him. If I'm like, okay, I just lost my wide receiver 1, my wide receiver 2 that I had planned just got injured, and I don't really have a tight end, I'm gonna trade. I'll get Antonio Brown, but that's last resort. I do not want Antonio Brown on my team at all. I think he just brings too much baggage. So
I
don't know. I don't know what team would really want him.
Yeah.
Jake, you said the Titans?
Yeah.
Don't they have Byard?
Yeah, but he plays free, doesn't he?
Yeah. Wait, who's their other safety?
It's let me Google it.
I thought they had. I honestly, I forget if Byard's a free or a strong.
I don't think they have Byard anymore.
No, they do.
do.
They have Byard.
They do.
I don't remember who their other safety is.
It's Vaccaro, Kenny Vaccaro.
Oh yeah, that's probably.
And I don't think the thing about the Titans, I don't think they're gonna want Vaccaro's like kind of.
I'm just thinking about the Titans' window of winning opportunity because I mean, let's be honest about Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I do think that would be a good fit. I also think they are a bit more linked with Jadeveon Clowney than Jamal Adams. I think that might be a better signing for them because I think I like Vaccaro a lot on that team, and I think their secondary was pretty good. I think their up front might need a bit of work concern. They got rid of Jarrell Casey. So, yeah, but I think, yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard with Adams. Like, where is he going to go? Because, I mean, it's going to be hard, especially with the COVID going on. Like, it's a bit of a risk for everyone. I mean, you already have, like, not that many players have signed extensions this offseason. Not that many. No, I mean, you have seen like big names like Jadeveon Clowney haven't been signed yet at all. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to, and the cap's probably gonna stay the same. So we'll have to see what happens. And that kind of first of all, do you guys have anything else to say about Jamal Adams before I segue into my next question?
No.
All right. So next question was kind of about COVID. So obviously there's a lot going on with that in the NFL. So some things that they did, they said that they're gonna do ads. They're gonna put tarps on the first 6 to 8 seats of each stadium for ad revenue. They also said that the Hall of Fame game is canceled. Training camp will start July 28th for every team now. So first of all, I just want to, does July 28th sound like a reasonable date for training camp for you guys?
No.
No, you think it could be later?
I don't even think they're going to have a football season.
That's not true. That's not true.
I think it sounds so unrealistic. What do you mean not true? Okay.
Why wouldn't they? I don't understand. What is your
coronavirus? What do you mean why wouldn't they?
Yeah, but you're talking about a sport that's starting later than two sports that have already been like noted to starting in the NBA and the MLB.
First of all,
and the NHL,
the NBA, why is it starting? Because they have a bubble. You're going to bubble the NFL? No.
You could probably get all the teams in Texas and play some games there, like some of the big outside.
You're not bubbling the NFL.
I'm just saying.
With all those hotels in Texas.
Dude, Dr. Anthony Fauci said, if they do not bubble the NFL, I do not see a season. The season will not start on time. It's just not going to start on time. Training camp, everything will get pushed and pushed because they're never going to cancel it. Because they're going to try their very hardest not to cancel NFL season, considering how much money it brings in, right?
I will bet you that they start week 1 on time. Training camp, I don't know, whatever.
I'll bet you $100 that they don't.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't think they're going to cancel this because, I mean, if this is still going on by November, then there's something wrong with this country. And I doubt that it will be going on in November.
Okay, first of all, there's obviously already something wrong with the country.
Well, so it won't be as high as it is now. Like they'll be able to play games.
It's still going on.
What? No, if it's like we're at the crisis point right now. Like if this crisis point is still going on by like November, then we're at a problem. But I think by November they should definitely be able to play football. If it gets pushed back to November, they could probably do that. Maybe shorten the season a few games. I don't know. If you kind of get what I'm saying.
You guys don't really understand what's happening. California, Texas, and New York just reached all-time highs in coronavirus. Coronavirus is still very prevalent. Stop acting like coronavirus.
I'm not saying that's not prevalent. I just said like
you're not hearing the president now. We're going to stop testing.
COVID,
the numbers will go down
that much because we're not doing everything we should. What did you just say?
No,
what?
We're saying that like
you're not listening to the president's plan. If we stop testing, the numbers will go down.
What I'm trying to say is that like the amount of cases we're having today are not going to be the amount we're having in August or July obviously in July, but in August, like it's gonna get better at some point, and that's the thing. Yeah,
okay, obviously. COVID, you say it's gotten better. How long has COVID been around?
I never said it got better. I said it will get better.
You said it's going to get better, right?
I mean, it
has not. In California, Texas, New York, the 3 most populated states just reached all-time highs.
Will it be?
So stop saying that it's gonna. There's no. I do not see a football season happening on time by any stretch of the imagination unless we get a miracle vaccine and somehow, which we're not going to get. And so they're going to push it. It's just, see, look at this. It's easier. The NFL roster is 55.
Yeah,
55 players.
That's why I think I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that there's not going to be a season. I'm saying I think they will push it. I'm not saying that they're not going to push it. I think that's going to happen. I was predicting that way back when this all started in March because I knew this was going to be more than a 2-week thing. But I mean, I think there will be a season at some point. The question is, when will it start? That's my take.
Right.
I think week 1 is happening whenever week 1 is scheduled right now. What, September
13th, I believe.
13th. I think we will see football played then.
That's unrealistic. That's kind of just that's an idealist view on the NFL, and it's just not going to happen. You have to be realistic about this coronavirus. NFL is not like baseball, where it's spread
a lot
out.
bigger. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
The goal of the defense
that's
is to hit
that's
the
not
offense.
the point. That doesn't matter. What are you talking about?
It's a main contact sport, and then you're going to bubble the NFL. Do you know how
it's the same? Okay, I promise you 100%. It's the same for the MLB and the NFL. They're not considering different things. If one person has it in the MLB or the NFL, everyone's still going to get it. It's not like the MLB, they're not in a locker room together or they're not standing on a field together tagging each other. They're still they're the same scenario. I don't understand it's not like they're standing 10 feet away from each other at all times, no matter what.
Mm-hmm. I want to Anthony's point right here. Mid-August is definitely going to determine everything for the NFL. I think if it's bad still, like if we have
the second, what is the second thing that's supposed to happen?
The
second wave.
Then I mean, obviously
you can honestly say that this is going on right now if you want, but
we're still in the first wave.
I mean, they went down and they went back up.
Yeah, because we lifted the stay-at-home restrictions. Because we flattened the curve, and then we just spiked the curve again. We're not having a football season start week 1. It's so unrealistic and such an idealist view on the American population to think that we're going to have a week 1. There's no way. There's no way. Even Dr. Anthony Fauci said, if unless they can bubble the NFL team, which they can't, he does not see a NFL season starting on time. I think they're going to push it until they can finally play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. I mean, they'll be able to play at some point. Is my point, though. Like,
I think
if they're not, they'll play at some point this year. Like, whether it's November, December, like maybe October, we'll have to see. But I mean, at this point, like, there's obviously not going to be any fans in the stands. Do you think? Wait, who was that? Oh, okay, never mind. Do you think they would cut games by any chance, Julian?
Cut games? What do you mean?
Like they would like skip let's say like they just don't want to play the week 1 game. Let's just say like they just postpone that game or just cancel that game. So there's only like a 10-game season. Do you think they might do that?
No, I think they're just going to push it.
They'll just keep on pushing games. All right. I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. I think I can see that.
And I think that let's say they do have a season, coronavirus, the rookies are going to be so badly affected.
Yeah, that was kind of my next point. Like, this rookie class, it's not going to be the rookie class they're expected. Like, I think there's going to be some that will like stand out. Like the ones that are like training with their team have been doing that since they got drafted will probably stand out. But then you got some other guys that haven't been like with their team at all. I think one person that could stand out would be Joe Burrow because he's been studying the playbook since like before this all started. So I think I would not be surprised if he's the standout rookie and like everyone's going to say he's the real deal. But other than that, I think most rookies are going to be significantly affected by this.
I think that obviously like Chase Young, Jeffrey Okudah, Derek Brown, the top players aren't going to be majorly affected because they're just that talented. But I think you get deeper and deeper into the draft. You look at wide receivers. Wide receivers need that practice. Brandon Ayuk, right? Let's look at it. Let's, for example, Brandon Ayuk drafted in the first round. It took Deebo Samuel half a season to get sorted with that offense. It took him 8 weeks.
It takes a while, yeah.
Right? With training camp, with everything, with preseason, with the regular season.
They need to bring a guy in to get him to go.
Right.
That's the other thing.
Right. And so I think that the rookies that are drafted outside the top 5, top 7, and quarterbacks will be very affected by coronavirus and not having a real training camp. It's just weird right now.
They're gonna have a training camp. I don't think you can play a season without having a training camp because you have so many question marks with practice squad guys, like fringe making the squad guys. That's true. Before the season starts. So preseason, maybe not. Maybe just one preseason game or something like that. But training camp, they're for sure not going to have. They for sure have to have training camp. Okay. So, yeah. Jake, you got any input on that?
I mean, I just view this very differently than you guys, so we can move on.
Yeah. All right. It's okay.
Wait. What do you mean you have a different view? What does that mean?
Like how this is going to impact everything.
How this is going to impact the NFL. You guys are acting like the rookies aren't playing with people on the team right now. They definitely are. They're not following all the rules. They're learning the playbooks and they're going out with the other guys on the team and they're being coached by the coaches.
It's not the same. Practices are not real practices. Hold on. It's running routes with a quarterback.
Jake's point of
other defensive ends. Jake's right now in a huge group with their coach right next to you.
I think the later round guys who aren't as like big name prospects and aren't going to get reached out to by those like veteran guys on the team who could help them out. Yes, it might affect them more, but do I think that, I don't know, what were the examples that Brandon Ayuk is going to have this big impact where he's that, like if he's as talented as Deebo Samuel was last year, and if he's in the same role, it's not like he's going to be any worse than he was just because of COVID.
Okay, hang on. I want to bring up your point. Like you're saying, like, oh, the players are still working with the guys, the coaches are still coaching them. The coaches are not like it's completely different because they're doing a virtual offseason. They're not actually seeing these guys' plays in person and correcting them about everything. That's a huge difference. Like the coaches being on the fields watching them play versus watching them off the field or just doing like virtual meetings. That's a significant difference, and that's what I think is going to be the X factor in slowing them down.
Yes, day to day, but you're ignoring the fact that people aren't following all of the rules.
Yeah, no, I know that. I think the teams are having virtual off seasons. Like the team coaches are not with the players necessarily.
Not even close.
Yeah, the closest they are Zoom meetings, like we're doing right now. Like that's the closest coaches have been getting with their players. I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that. I think the coaches like not being there. I don't think there's that many coaches that are there, and I think that's going to be a huge impact on the rookies.
Okay, I agree.
I don't.
All right, you guys have any other input on that?
No, it's fun.
No. You good, Julian?
Yeah, I'm good. It's just right. Jake strongly disagrees with us, but he doesn't.
Hey, that's the point. I mean, we're here to debate. We're here to argue. We're here to do everything. So, yeah. All right. Next point. This might be pretty brief. The Lions switched ownership, or their ownership. Martha Ford, she was their owner before. She gave it up to her daughter Sheila Hamp. It's the same ownership group. Do you guys think this is going to make a big impact or no?
No.
Okay.
I think
literally haven't heard about it until you brought it up.
And she was running the team anyway. The daughter was running the team anyway. It's not a huge difference. They're still gonna suck because they're the Lions. So I don't think it's gonna make a huge difference.
You think they're gonna suck?
I don't think. Yeah,
I'm kidding. They're not gonna suck.
I don't think they're gonna be that bad.
It's just gonna be a classic. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a classic Stafford season. Continues the trajectory. Oh, he wins. He goes to the playoffs. This is the year. Then chokes it in the playoffs again. But I don't know. I don't think that's going to make a huge difference. I think they're going to be good, but I don't think the change in ownership, it's just a title. The daughter was running it anyway. It's just a change in title. It's not a big deal.
While we are talking about the Lions, I think that I will say this, that I don't know if I've said it on stream before, But if the Lions don't make the playoffs, I think that Matt Patricia will get fired. It's playoffs or bust for him. I think that's one thing I gotta say about the Lions.
Yeah.
So, all right, moving on. Julian, you brought this up when we were talking about Jamal Adams. One thing that happened this week is that Dak accepted signed his franchise tag. So this will be his last year on his deal now. And my question for you guys is: will he be a Cowboy in 2021? And second of all, how are they going to save cap? Like, are there any players that you think will be off the roster fairly soon, so they can make sure that they can re-sign their quarterback, who I know wants a lot of money to stay in Dallas?
Look, the thing with Dak Prescott is that he thinks he's better than he actually is. He's just not as good as he thinks he is. He had the most talented roster last year in the whole entire NFL by Pro Football Focus. Went 8-8, lost the worst division in the NFL by far, one of the worst divisions ever.
Mm-hmm.
They lost. This is the thing with Dak Prescott. You got the division game, right? You're going against a banged-up Philadelphia Eagles. Their secondary is high school players. On their third string running back, they lost Alshon. They lost Deshaun Jackson. Carson Wentz is always injured. He's never not injured. So whatever, right? But
the Eagles in general are just injured to hell.
And not only do you lose, you play terribly. He had what? Like a 35 QBR? He played terribly. He wasn't even close. He had an injured shoulder. Come on. Everyone's playing injured. It's week 17. Okay, get over yourself. That's not a good excuse. That's why I think Dak Prescott is overranking himself. I heard some buzz. This is what happened last year. Dak Prescott starts 1-0. All right? Jerry Jones, the contract is imminent, right? It's 2-0, 3-0, right? And Dak Prescott goes, okay, I was asking for 32. Now I want over 40. You just saw me go 3-0. And Jerry Jones is not a pushover. Jerry Jones goes, what the fuck are you talking about? You want over $40 million? Congratulations, you beat the Dolphins. You beat Washington, right? And he's like, no, I'm good now. Look at my stats. That's what's wrong. Dak Prescott is not as good as he thinks. If he gets paid over $40 million, which cannot happen, he will blow up the cap. That team will not win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott if he takes a $39 million contract. They're just not going to win a Super Bowl. So he needs to take a cut. I think if I'm Jerry Jones, I think if he says, I want 32 a year over 5 years, okay, I can do that, but I'm not doing over 40. It's so unrealistic.
40 is way too much.
But it's just, it blows my mind how anyone could be so wrong about how good they think they are, because he's just not that good. He can't lift. The thing with Russell Wilson, he can get paid that much because he can lift up players that are not very good, right? Mm-hmm. Dak needs really good, talented players around him, and if you get that big of a contract, you can't re-sign players. You're not gonna be able to sign big free agents. You're gonna bank on that all your freaking draft picks are gonna hit, and it's unrealistic. And if he does take a big contract, which I think they might have to give him, it's not going to end well for the Dallas Cowboys. And you look at the division, right? Let's look at, you got Washington. They're on the up and up, right? Let's see how Dwayne Haskins plays. You got the New York Giants, okay? They got Slayton. Daniel Jones is good. They have Saquon. They just had the 4th overall pick. That's a good team. Philadelphia Eagles went to the playoffs with the most banged up roster by far in the NFL. That should worry you a little bit, right? They just drafted another wide receiver. That team is going to be good. They're not going anywhere. And then you're going to blow up your cap with Dak Prescott. That's going to be bad for the future of the franchise. It's not going to end well if they pay him $39-40 million a year.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I feel like, they have to pay Dak sometime if they want to keep him on this team. That's one of the reasons I don't think Jamal Adams going to the Cowboys makes any sense for the Cowboys. No. I think it's just something that Jamal Adams wants, and I don't think he's going to get it. And yeah, I feel like they're going to try to get Dak at all costs and keep him on the team. I don't necessarily know. It depends on what he's asking for. I don't think he's not going to get it. So he's not going to get what he wants, obviously. If he's only like, oh, I want $40 million no matter what, just get another quarterback. Like that's my thing. But if they're definitely going to have to maybe cut some cap with some moves. Before we get into that, I want to Jake. Are you with me on? Do you think it'll be a Cowboy in 2021?
Oh yeah, I think he's definitely getting a massive contract. I have some opinions on some of the Cowboys players that I don't like very much. So I don't know who is going to be the salary cap casualty. I think that with the drafting of
Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb, I think that makes Cooper expendable. I think that maybe I can't see them trading any more of those or cutting or trading any of those O linemen. They've already been kind of, I don't want to say decimated because they've only lost 2 guys, but I mean, what they have Smith, Collins, Martin now, and then I don't really know the rest of them.
Connor Williams. They drafted a center.
Yeah.
Williams and their center on rookie contracts for a bit, so we'll have to see with that. But I want to bring up another point that Anthony made. Like, this is why he's not going to get paid like $40 million anywhere else other than Dallas, maybe, because like he has so much. He has like the perfect offense. Like, he has every weapon you need besides a tight end. And I mean, that's why I feel like
better than you think.
He is better than you think, but I mean, he's no George Kittle or Zach Ertz or Travis Kelce.
Okay, not every team. No team is going to have their own George Kittle or Zach Ertz or Travis Kelce.
But I mean,
he's a formidable tight end.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I think he's probably going to get paid by Dallas, considering that he's done well there. He has a lot there. But if he's asking for way too much, then I think he's an easily expandable quarterback. You can easily replace him, I think, with someone, whether it's a rookie, whether it's a veteran. I think easily is probably the wrong word, but you can just replace him.
They can't easily replace a franchise quarterback. Don't get me wrong. It looks like I'm hating on Dak, which I kind of am. But it's just it's not about his gameplay. I think he's a good, solid quarterback. Look at the numbers are good. Not numbers don't always tell the whole story, but he puts up really good numbers, right? But at the same time, he's overestimating how good he is. I think he's a solid, good, build your franchise around the guy if he's asking for the right amount of money.
Yeah.
And so I think that if you wait to pay him after Mahomes and Watson deal gets done, you just can't. They're not going to do that because Mahomes is going to blow up the market. Watson's going to blow up the market even more than it already is. So if this deal will not get done post Mahomes and Watson, so I think it will get done shortly, and I do think the deal will get done because it's just so valuable to have a franchise quarterback. But I worry that they're going to overpay him, and they're not going to be able to win a lot of games.
I also think that people are overestimating how good their offense is because Zeke struggled a lot last year. Especially when a couple like Smith was out a couple games, and so was Martin played the whole season. Frederick missed a couple games with a concussion, I believe, or he was just banged up or something. I don't know, but he struggled with that. And then also Cooper, I'm not going to go into it. I really don't like him. And then Gallup was a rookie last year, so maybe you're overestimating how good the offense was because they have the most vacated targets going into this year. We're losing Randall Cobb, who had a nice 800-yard receiving season, and then Jason Witten had 70 catches when no one was paying attention. It's like
Jarwin. I think Jarwin can easily replace that. I think Jarwin can. Yeah, Jarwin can easily replace that. So I wouldn't say that's that big of a loss.
Yeah,
it's not.
I think the thing is.
Well, I'm just gonna fix my light. You guys keep talking.
It's just I was just saying that it's telling about how the talent level of Cooper and Gallup, the fact that guys like Randall Cobb and Jason Witten are taking up that much of the passing attack. They're not that they don't have a consolidated passing offense like you see in Atlanta, like you see in Detroit, where it's okay, it is Julio, Calvin Ridley, Austin Hooper. There is no one else, right? Yeah. It is Galladay, Marvin Jones, and we saw a little bit of Hawkinson last year. But that's not what it is here. They don't have those insane receivers that are just going to take over the game. So, I mean, Cooper, is a lower end number one receiver, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I don't think that shouldn't have as much pushback as it tends to have in the like NFL community. I don't understand what he's done to put him on that extra level. He's never shown up in a big game. And like, if you're not going to do that, what are you doing? Like, why are they paying him this much money?
I think
get
that
he
his
can
attitude,
burn shitty corners, but
yeah,
I'm
I
like,
think that his
that's not
attitude
important.
really gets in his way. You saw him against the Eagles game when they're losing. He didn't even play the second half. He was just on the bench with his head down. I think that brings the morale of the team down, especially when you got a wide receiver one like him. I believe that he's one of the best route runners in the NFL, but he just, at the same time, you can run a great route, beat him, you drop the ball, it means nothing. He has so many drops.
Yeah.
People forget that. The Dallas Cowboys had the most drops by any other team in the NFL. So I agree that offense is overrated. And I think the thing people look overrated, look at the numbers. The numbers don't tell. You cannot just look at numbers and say, I understand what they're saying. The reason Dak Prescott in the first half is terrible. And then what do? Dump off. Oh, then you just got 300 yards in the second half. Congratulations. You're losing anyway. You just lost anyway. So I think what Dak Prescott is in that offense is just a stat-packing quarterback that can't bring his team up enough to have a $40 million contract.
I really like Dak, and I'm just saying that Cooper, I mean, in that game against the Patriots, right, where didn't they get blown out or something?
No, it was like 13-6.
But it wasn't a close game. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it was 13-6.
It was like a bad weather game, and
game.
It was kind of like the Niners Redskins. It was like a bad weather game,
but they were severely outmatched. And it was Cooper had one target, and it got intercepted. And then he had the audacity to get mad that he wasn't getting targeted more. And if you watched him, he was getting blanketed. I get how good a corner Stephon Gilmore is, but for a guy to receive $100 million contract,
you gotta get
to be able to get something going against no matter who it is. Like, you are paid as that elite corner who can get it done. It's here. Wait, let me find the stats. Here, wait, you guys move on. But
also, wait, I just want to. Didn't they sign Andy Dalton, right?
Yep.
Do you think he would maybe come in, do something, if they didn't want Dak for a year?
Not.
Or no?
Not.
I mean, the only reason I would
not a bad quarterback.
He's not. Yeah, that's my point. Like, the only thing I would see, maybe they don't sign Dak. They go with Andy Dalton for a year, and they draft like a project in the draft who maybe can develop for a year behind Dalton and Mike McCarthy, who, don't get me wrong, is a really good coach in my opinion. But yeah, I think that could be another option. I mean, they got a lot of guys that they're gonna have to pay eventually, and if they do get Jamal Adams, then they're in like cap hell if they sign Dak Prescott, considering they gotta extend him. So I think there's many options for him. But yeah, I think, as Jake was saying, Amari Cooper is a guy that I think is expandable if CeeDee Lamb can produce along with Gallup. So we'll see what happens there.
Amari Cooper, through the first 9 games last season, 53 catches, 848 receiving yards, and 7 touchdowns in 9 games, which is insane. But then you get down to crunch time, and he only ended the season with like 1,100 yards. You're getting 300 yards in the last, 7 games? Like, when your team and only 1 touchdown, less than 30 receptions. I mean,
you're like a close playoff race.
You're splitting the year down the middle, and you're just absolutely shitting the bed because you're not playing the Dolphins and the Redskins and all these teams where you can absolutely light up their secondary.
Who were their opponents for the first 8 weeks?
I don't know.
Let me look that up.
I think the thing with Dak Prescott is he went 1-5 against teams over 500. Come on, that's not good. That can't happen. And then you go 8-8. Like, you saw him against good teams with formidable defenses. He just didn't play well.
Okay, first 9 weeks: Giants, Redskins, Dolphins, and then let me scroll down.
Giants, Redskins, Dolphins, Saints, which they lost. They lost to the Packers. They go at the Jets and lose. And then they have Eagles, which they win, and Giants, which they win. Those are their first 8 weeks. So, I mean, you have like you have 3 difficult games in there. You win 2 out of 3. I don't know how he did for those games. I haven't seen that. But then at the end of year, you got teams. The second half, you have Minnesota, Detroit, New England, Buffalo, Chicago, LA, Eagles, and Redskins. And don't get me wrong, those teams, most of those teams are good teams. So obviously, like, you might see a bit of a regression, but I mean, when your team is fighting for a playoff spot, you have to step it up, and he was unable to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's my thing with Amari Cooper. All right, you guys have anything else to say about that, or are you still looking up stats, Jake?
No, I mean, I saw them, but
all right, perfect. All right, let's move on to the next topic. This happened a bit of a while ago, but we have some running backs that are holding out: Joe Mixon and Dalvin Cook. And so should we see more holdouts? That's my question. I want to start with that, I want to start with that question. And I'm kind of surprised that there's not as many holdouts as I thought there would be. I thought there would be a lot more than just 2 holdouts that we know, just in general, not just running back holdouts. But I feel like this is kind of going back to our points with COVID. I feel like people with the cap's probably not going to jump up that much. It's probably just going to stay the same, in my opinion. And I mean, if I were a person on a contract year who doesn't know their future, and I'm a good player, I would want to get paid immediately so I can get the money before it goes away. I think I'm not surprised that a lot of other players are holding out. If you kind of get what I'm saying.
Your question is, should there be more holdouts?
Yeah, that's my question. I think there should. I'm surprised that we're not seeing as many holdouts as I thought there would be. I think there should be a lot more than 2 holdouts.
Well, I think should there be more holdouts? It's kind of a blanket statement.
I could rephrase. Let me rephrase. Are you guys surprised that there's only 2 holdouts at this point?
Look, I think the thing with the 2 are running backs. I think the thing with running backs, the problem,
they don't get paid anything in free agency.
They don't get they're so undervalued because
and injury prone.
Beat up. They're running in the trenches. And Dalvin Cook is one of those runners. He's fast, he's quick, but he runs over people and stuff like that. He's in between blocks. He's not like an outside zone runner. And so I think that I support holding out. Like, go get your money, because you don't get paid much as a running back.
I mean,
for NFL standards compared to defensive ends, wide receivers, offensive linemen, tight ends, any of those, even tight ends. So I think that, hold out, get your money. I don't have a problem with it. I do think if you're a running back, and if I'm a running back especially, I will hold out. I think it's much different for other positions because they get paid a lot more than running backs. But I 100%
I just want to bring up a point about Dalvin Cook. This is such a smart move for him to hold out with COVID. And also, I think a lot of people are predicting that his play is going to regress, along with me, because, I mean, they lost Stefanski. He also had some injuries throughout last season. So I'm not surprised. Like, after that season, I'm not surprised that he is holding out. It's a smart move, in my opinion. I think this is how you get your money before you might, like, risk an injury or something. If he can get an extension, then that would be huge for him. I don't think I don't think they're going to be willing to give it to him. But obviously, we haven't seen too much about that, so we'll just see how it plays out. But we haven't heard from Jake. What are your thoughts on that?
There are really 7 running backs that could hold out. And frankly, running backs are going to be the first position to come out and hold out, just because, as Julian said, they don't make anything in free agency. They get beat up. They have a higher injury risk. And it's other positions have more, I don't want to say leadership, because that sounds bad for running backs. But if a quarterback holds out, like, what does that say to the team? And running backs, kind of, you get their money, right? But a quarterback who's fighting, like Prescott, if you were to hold out, you're fighting between $32 and $40 million. Like, sorry. Yeah. But it's like, okay, the 7 that I was thinking of, Cook and Mixon, who've already said they've already dropped the H-bomb. And then there's Connor, Fournette, Kamara, who's the one on Hunt, and But
All right, now
a bunch of them already. What I'm trying to say is a bunch of them still have stuff to prove. Like, how is
True.
Fournette, Connor, arguably Kamara after his high ankle sprain last year, and especially Hunt? Like, how can they go out and ask for more money when they haven't exactly proven themselves? Like, especially Fournette and Connor. I mean, Fournette is not coming back because his 5th-year option got declined. So that's just
okay. No, here my thing about that is like, why would Fournette and Hunt hold out if they have more to prove? Like, if they're
that's
just
what
going to
I'm
hold
saying.
out.
You asked why more people aren't holding out, and I'm telling you why.
No. Oh, okay. No, I thought you were saying like they will hold out. Okay, that makes sense.
No. I mean, I think that Mixon has 100 times more leverage than Cook because a lot of people don't seem to notice this, but he has played better than Cook. Hands
Mixon?
down. Yes. He has like the highest juke rate in the elusiveness rate in the NFL. And it's like with the worst O-line, with a horrible offense and a terrible like the negative game script that he's had where they're not running the ball to still get 1,100 yards back-to-back seasons. That's incredible. And you're talking about a very good Vikings team that has a run-centric offense. Like, you can't compare the two. And Mixon, they have similar cap situations, like where they can get it done if they want.
No, the Bengals have great cap space right now.
But the Vikings do after they got rid of Griffin and Xavier Rhodes and they cleared up some stuff. Yeah,
all those guys. I mean,
I think Mixon will 100%.
I agree 100% with Jake about Joe Mixon and how underrated he is, considering how awful that offense is and how awful that offensive line is. I think he has potential to be a top 5 running back, top 3 running back in the NFL. If he was put in a great position, they just drafted the top O lineman in the first. No, not in the first round. Sorry, in the draft, they're getting their first round pick. The guy.
Wait, who did they get? Sorry.
In the draft.
This is from 2019. They got Jonah Williams, but he didn't play at all last year.
Yeah. And they got another guy. Yeah. And so I think that.
But they got someone this draft. I'm trying to remember who he was.
They got hold on.
Joe Mixon can be a top running back, and I agree with you that he should hold out and get his money. He's very underrated, just because the Cincinnati Bengals suck. Nobody pays attention to them. The only reason people pay attention to them is because they drafted Joe Burrow. And I think that offensive line has been terrible for a while. I think that team can really turn around. I think if I'm Joe Mixon, I'm like, I have produced for you. You have given me a terrible, terrible situation, and I've still produced. You gave him like the elusiveness. He's great elusiveness, great speed. And so give me my money. You put me in terrible position. I still managed to succeed. Like, I'm hold out, get my money. I like that a lot.
So they only drafted one tackle last year. It was the 6th round, Hakeem Adeniji from Kansas. So that's probably someone who's not even going to start.
Well, then I was wrong about that. But they do get their offensive tackle
They
back.
got Jonah Williams, though. That is
I
something.
think they signed an offensive lineman or some. I remember them getting an offensive lineman or something.
Look at their roster.
I mean, okay, yeah, look at their roster.
I feel like they did sign someone. I don't know. I mean, I could also just be thinking of someone else. Let me look. Okay. Hang on. They have Billy Price, who hasn't really done that much at their center. They don't really have anyone on their O-line. I don't know who they signed. Oh, was it Bobby Hart? I don't know who that is.
Well, then I'm probably just thinking of another team. I don't know.
Bobby Hart's a guard, but he's been there a while.
Oh, he's listed as a tackle. I remember the Niners just absolutely destroyed their O-line. But yeah, I'm not surprised Mixon's holding out. I think what I was trying to say is that I'm surprised that there's more holdouts. There's not as many holdouts in general, not just running backs. I feel like.
I mean, who holds out?
Yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, there's going to be some guys that might hold out, like if they're. I mean, you honestly.
I don't like who in past years who's not a running back have
Antonio
had
Brown.
Holdouts.
That wasn't a big
Brown.
holdout, but he did hold out when like all that helmet crisis and everything. He was planning on holding out.
But he has he has a mental disorder.
He
So
came back for
I
week
mean-
2. He got cut before the season was starting. So
Well, because it was like, he had the helmet thing. He came back and then he held that again.
but it wasn't a contract. Do you know what I'm saying?
It wasn't a contract. No, it wasn't a contract situation. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's uncomparable to anything happening in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
running backs are just like running backs are obviously going to be the ones that are going to hold out most of the time. But I feel like this year, I'm surprised that not as many people this year are holding out as I thought I would. I thought COVID would impact a lot of the players if they want money. And also, I mean, have you seen this running back free agent class? It is ridiculous for 2021. So I'm not surprised.
It might get a combined $1 million.
Yeah, I mean, but I feel like there's going to be some more guys holding out other than those three. But anyways, you guys got anything for that? All right, perfect. So the last topic of this pretty long video for everyone who stayed this entire time. Thank you guys so much. We're going to talk about Colin Kaepernick now. Social justice, racist, systematic racism, whatever you want to call it. I have not discussed that much on this channel. I haven't felt necessarily need to. I haven't really felt like anything. You get the point. But we're going to talk about right here, Colin Kaepernick, former Niners quarterback, excuse me. He's said that there's multiple teams that have inquired about him. LeBron James said that he deserves to be back in the league. I think there's been a lot of discussion. So my question to you is, first of all, will Colin Kaepernick be on the team?
I don't know, but I don't understand. Well, actually, I do understand, and I think it's not quite right. I think the only reason he's getting buzz right now is because of all the racial justice stuff that's happening right now. And I don't think that if there was some collusion against him before, I think that's wrong, obviously. But for him to get signed just for like a good PR opportunity for the team, but having no intention of like actually giving him a chance, I think that's also not right. But I feel like people are getting misconstrued. Colin Kaepernick was a below average quarterback.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man.
I don't understand. And he got a massive deal and turned it down. And then he got another contract and turned that one down too.
He opted. He was on a big deal and he opted out. And then the Niners didn't.
6 years, 114. And in his last season starting for the Niners, he went 1-10.
Okay, look.
1-10 with a loss to the Bears, and I think he also a terrible.
If you're a truly good quarterback, you just never happens.
That's a terrible. No offense, but that's such BS that you just said that. He is good, and he led a team to a Super Bowl.
That was terrible. 3 years. That was not 4 terrible. Years before.
He went to a Super Bowl, right? That team fell apart. They lose Harbaugh. That defense falls apart. They go from the best offensive line to the worst offensive line. His number one target was who? Quentin Patton. Does anyone know who that is? No, nobody knows who that is. He's good enough to be in the NFL. So the excuse that, no, if he was good, he would be in the NFL. No, he was a good quarterback. He's good enough. Have you seen some of these backup quarterbacks? Jay Cutler was in the league. Starting
that was complete bullshit. Like Colin Kaepernick should have been over Jay Cutler. Let's just get that out of the way.
He's not in the league because he took a knee. He took a stance against racial injustice, and then all these white owners that didn't like it, they blackballed him. They had a whole meeting and blackballed him out of the NFL. That's the reason he's not in the NFL. And then people realized 3 years later that what he was actually standing for was not disrespecting the flag. And then the whole George Floyd thing happens, and people are like, oh, yeah, now I understand what he's saying. And then people look back and they go, he's 100% good enough to be a legitimate backup quarterback in the NFL. He's not going to lead a team to the playoffs. I don't think he's good enough, but I think can be a legitimate backup quarterback.
Okay, I agree that he should have been on a team then.
Yeah,
he should have been on a team up till now. But being a free agent right now, with the state of the quarterback situations and everything happening, he's just looking at it right now. He's what? He's 31, 30. I don't know how old is he? Do you guys know?
No idea.
He's around that age though.
Okay. Yeah.
And Cam Newton is a free agent.
He's 32.
32 years old. Hasn't played in 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Cam Newton, the only reason at this point he would get signed over Cam Newton is because it's a good PR opportunity. Do you disagree?
No. The reason Cam Newton is not signed is not because he's not good. He wants to be a starter, and there's nowhere to start.
He already said that he could be a backup. It's just because of his injury history, because they can't get him in for a medical.
Yeah, no, Cam's totally fine being backup, I think.
He said that. Yeah, he said
he said that he wants to be a starter.
He said in the right. He did say that at one point.
I know. I mean,
okay.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, let me just clarify everything I said before. So I think for the Kaepernick should have been on a team 2017, 2018, 2019, 2017. He for sure should have been on a team. Let's just put that out there. 2018, 2019. It's hard to predict considering like he's a backup quarterback. We don't know how this is going to go. But 2017, he's for sure should have been on a team. Now we're at 2020. He hasn't played in 3 seasons. So you don't know what he's going to do right now. Like, you don't know if he's going to be a good quarterback. He hasn't been in the league for 3 years. All he's been doing is
what Kaepernick is asking, he's not saying, you must sign me. He's saying, give me a chance.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
take me to training camp. Let me show you what I got. If you don't like me, okay. If you don't think I'm good enough, that's fine. Cut me. That's fine. Give me a chance. Let me show you that I can.
The tough thing right now is that we don't know when the coaches are lying about what's like happening, right? Because the Raiders said, or their owner was like, "Oh, we've had like the blessing to sign Kaepernick forever," but like I don't know if he's just bullshitting just to say that there wasn't collusion, you know? Or Hugh Jackson, who said he wanted to sign him, but Hugh Jackson, first of all, let's just say Hugh Jackson is full of shit. Oh, I wanted to draft Mahomes. I wanted to draft Watson. They wouldn't let me. Sure. Sure you did, bud.
Yeah, I mean,
look,
he did get an opportunity with the Seahawks in 2017. They ultimately didn't sign him. But I was about to say,
look, who has the power in the NFL? It's not Goodell.
Yeah,
it's the owners. The owners have power over Goodell. Those are the real, like the main owners. Like Jerry Jones has control so much of what the NFL does. It's crazy. You don't see it though, and it gets thrown out by the coaches and the GM. The GMs are the ones saying it, right?
I mean, yeah, you saw how. The power in the MLB is pretty much equal, and you saw that because they had that whole holdout thing. But the fact that that's not happening in any other sport is kind of showing. I think the power in the NBA, because of the popularity of the guys in the NBA, is more with the players. And then also it's more of like one man team. Like if LeBron was like, "Oh, this is wrong," the owner would be like, "I'm bad. I'm gonna die now." Like,
I mean,
no, but the thing with the reason Kaepernick is signed. You can make all the excuses in the world. You can say that he blew it. You can say this. He blew the Super Bowl. He should have taken the deal. Yada, yada, yada. He's not good enough. Cam Newton's not
Wait, what happened with the Ravens again? Someone just commented that.
I was kind of confused in that. I don't know if West Coast is still in here.
The Ravens is the Super Bowl. He's talking about the Super Bowl, right? Oh, no, that's 2017.
No. I don't know. He like worked out with them, right? And then I can't remember the details.
He worked out with the Seahawks, I think. I don't know.
I thought they were like gonna sign him. And
I remember working out with the Seahawks.
Oh no, there was something with his girlfriend, right? Where like,
his girlfriend posted a racist tweet or something like that, or called someone racist or something like that.
Colin Kaepernick.
It definitely wasn't a racist tweet. It was
Ravens from signing quarterback. Here it is.
Racism.
This is on Sports Illustrated website. Okay, and this is from Ray Lewis. His girlfriend says something racist, and he doesn't get signed by them.
Wait, so I mean, racist or something like for racial justice, like.
Let me check that.
Was it like something like bad, like, or was it just?
Wait, let me see.
Like fighting.
The thing you can say whatever.
It's a picture of.
Okay, here. Let me share my.
That definitely shouldn't have happened. Like, who cares what his girlfriend? Like, that's stupid. I don't.
Okay.
He should have been signed up until now. But all I'm saying is, right now, This
is the tweet. If you guys see that. which I don't get that. I don't know what this is from.
Is that the Django or
I have no
movie?
clue that's from. I've never seen that movie, but yeah. So that's what kept him out of the league from the Ravens. So, I mean, that first of all, that shouldn't have done that. Like a tweet from your girlfriend wasn't really.
Where did Julian go?
Oh, did he get kicked out? Oh, he's right there. He's right
Yeah,
here.
sorry, my Wi-Fi. Wait, what were you guys talking about? I missed like the last 15
Oh, okay.
seconds.
Here the explanation that like they compared the owner of the Ravens to a slave owner.
Yeah.
Is what happened.
Okay. Sorry, I have to go, guys. I'm getting.
You have to go. All right, perfect. We're gonna wrap this up pretty soon. Do you guys have anything else you just want to say about Kaepernick, social justice, anything with the NFL, Julian? Can you hear me?
What?
Do you have anything?
My internet connection's bad.
Okay. Do you have anything you want to say about like racial justice? Anything that has to do with the NFL, Kaepernick? Anything else?
Yeah, I think that the reason Kaepernick is out of the league, we kind of made 10 minutes of excuses as to why he's not in the NFL. The reason he's not in the NFL is because the owners don't want him in the NFL. Okay, let's just get that straight.
I think I'm with you. I mean,
he's undoubtedly good enough to be in the NFL, right? He's not asking for an amazing amount of like a crazy amount of money. He's not saying I need to be a starter in the league. No, the reason he's not in the NFL is because the NFL doesn't want that. They're all a bunch of white owners. Okay? They don't like him standing up for racial justice. And now you say, oh, the only reason he's in the NFL now is because of the whole George Floyd racial justice war kind of thing. That is true to an extent, but when you put it that way, it sounds bad. The reason is he took a knee for racial equality in the police force, right? And just in general everywhere. And now people are finally realizing that he was right. He's not disrespecting the flag. Drew Brees said some asinine, stupid comment about disrespecting the flag when he said on multiple occasions it's not about the flag. He's not disrespecting the flag. He's not disrespecting the military. Okay? And so I think that the reason he's not in the league is because the owners don't want him in the league because he's standing up for what he thinks is right. But now I think a lot of pressure is on the owners.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
Someone's got to sign him, right? But I don't think they do not want him back in the league. All those owners don't want him. They agree. They're like, Cap's not coming back. They told Goodell, Cap's not coming back. And then Goodell basically just said, bring him back. Like, we would welcome. I hope an owner signs Goodell. I mean, not hope an owner signs Kaepernick or a GM. And so I think that he will be signed at some point. I would not be surprised if he gets signed. And if I was betting on it, yeah. I think there are a lot of teams interested in Cap. But I think the reason that he wasn't on a team from 2014 to now,
2017 to now.
2017 now, right, is because the owners didn't want him in the league. It's not because he's not good enough.
Yeah, no,
he took a knee and took a stand for what he thought is right, and they didn't like that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I mean, I think your point about Jay Cutler just sums it all. Like, if the fact that Jay Cutler signed and he wasn't, that just shows that the owners didn't want him in the NFL. I think my point is like at first the owners didn't want him in the NFL. Now it's like, first of all, I still don't think the owners want him in the NFL. But at the same time, I also think that the more he's not in the league, it's going to be harder for him to get back in because of how unproven he is with everything. So that was my point about that. That I just want to clear that up. So,
I agree.
But yeah. All right. You got anything else to say about that?
No, I'm good.
All right. Perfect. So we're going to end the stream right here. If you guys have any other things that you want us to discuss, just make sure to tweet me at Stone Cold Kittle. I can give you my quick opinion on that. Give everything on that, or we can do another quick video on that. We'll see what happens. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Go Niners.